afternoon, everyone. Back with Lake Faerie News Files. As I have told some people in the community behind the scenes about this New York bill to create, places for people to go and, for things to do like they do in other countries, I keep reminding people this is something has been going on for a really long time, since the late 90s. Okay, so on December 22nd, they looked at the bill, the A416, that had been sitting idly in New York State Assembly for several years, which, if it passed into law, would effectively create internment camps for the ones who don't really want to get things, because that is a human right and a choice. Residents of the state, a number of outlets picked up on the news, and it began creating quite a stir. Skimming through here, I'm just going to go out and tell you guys that we've known, we live in the upper part of New York State, the Adirondacks. And a lot of things that happen in New York City don't always apply to the rest of the state. Okay, so it's always been pretty separate. However, a state in a whole, mandates and laws are also different. So a 6-year-old bill fueled faults, which I believe it's longer. This bill that's 6 years old, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this bill was from the 90s. But it was put back in 6 years ago with some, they made some amendments to the bill and tried passing it through again. The remarkable part of this story is the outrage over the bill was the product of lies and mistruths. If you go back and read the portions of the bill that were highlighted on Monday, the bill proposed doing precisely what everyone was saying it would do. And we were called conspiracy theorists and everything else. So while that legislation didn't use specific terms as internment camps, there's really no other suitable description, for what they were proposing. Putting people into medical facilities where they are not allowed to leave and potentially get forced, that is absolutely nothing short of being called internment camps. So, perhaps more alarming was the way that Spectrum News, one of the largest local media outlets in upstate New York, questioningly jumped on the bandwagon, saying that the bill had fueled faults, the stuff that we've been dealing with the past couple of years, related conspiracy theories. Since when is publishing and commenting on an existing piece of legislation a conspiracy theory? So again, we go with the questions being asked. Ask the right questions, okay? Because when you ask people the right questions, the people being asked the questions act out, and they also want to silence you. They will use lies or attacks or all kinds of things to silence you because they don't want their evil schemes and truths to come out themselves. So, back to this bill here in New York. Some people got their facts even more incorrect. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene gave a speech where she claimed that the New York legislature had already passed the bill. I don't get the impression that she was deliberately making things up, but instead fell victim to an online version of the telephone game, where increasingly distorted versions of news stories make their rounds. Reuters attempted to also fact-check some of the claims being made and declared much of the coverage to be false. Let's see. Originally introduced the bill in 2015 in response to the there was a Ebola outbreak, and they wanted to make sure that if that ever happened here, that they would be able to contain it, even if they went, and put people in interment camps. But they were never mentioned in the bill in that way. But taking people and putting them into medical facilities against their will in hopes that those people would comply to do things that were against our Constitution. They were against our rights under that. Both of those are technically true. So, if you don't have it, or if you do have it, it's found in the portions of the bill which empowers people in charge of the detention centers to require an individual who's been exposed to or infected by something that's a problem that you could possibly then spread, that they would take their measures to prevent anything from happening. And in the bill, they don't have to have a reason. They can just suspect and then detain you, which we already know. Many people I've let people and I've watched people. It's not that I let. I mean, people can do whatever they want. But I've been following this because I live here. And this is something I feel very strong about. I just chose not to talk about it until now. So, again, this bill has yet again not gone. It's turned around again. They're putting an end to the debate, at least for now. Okay. So again, this is something that's been coming up. A couple times last year it came up and went in and out. And putting an end to the debate for now. This is not happening here. So thank you very much for everyone who's reached out to us and even wanted to maybe open their, arms up in their homes to get us out of this state. But I believe in the salt and the light, and I'm going to stay right here for now. I grew up here. I love it here. Doesn't mean, down the road things might change. However, when you stay planted where you're at, but not fully planted, we got to move around. We got to be able to move. When you're the salt alone, that's good. But when you throw yourself out there as the salt, you become reactive and make a change. And when you take lights out of places that really need them, the only thing left is for darkness to reign, and we won't let that happen. Okay. Well, y'all have a great day. And, of course, as always, I will be putting the link into the description of this video, and also I will put it in the comment section, the link to where I got this information from. Y'all have a great day. This was Lake Faerie, apocalyptic Lake Faerie, with Lake Faerie News Files.